Everybody know what Snapchat is?
One evening recently, about 100 parents were scattered through the bleachers in the Cathedral Catholic High School gym in Carmel Valley. They were there to hear from San Diego police officer Jordan Wells about an uncomfortable topic.
Or maybe they intended to send to somebody, and now it's on the pedophile's computer somewhere.
We want to get that back to the parent and help the parent understand it is happening. And there's not been one parent that has told me that they expected their child to do this.
The meeting followed news accounts of more than 20 middle and high school students in 7 area schools texting nude photos of themselves or classmates. Sharing photos like this is known as sexting, and when teens do it, because they're minors, they're technically producing, possessing, and distributing child pornography. Wells says kids don't realize they're committing felonies. They also don't understand they're giving up control of their photos.
They call them trading cards, if that can give you an idea. So let's say a young lady wants to send one or chooses to send one to her boyfriend. The boyfriend may or may not, right at that point, send it on to somebody else. But when they break up and they're upset at each other, then they go on.
It isn't clear how many teens are sexting. A 2009 study from the Pew Research Center estimated about 19% of kids ages 12 to 17 had ever sent or received a nude or nearly nude photo. But a 2011 study from the Crimes Against Children Research Center put the figure at just under 10% of 10 to 17-year-olds. The San Diego Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force could not provide local data on teen sexting incidents, but Wells and others say they're seeing more cases and that parents should take the dangers seriously.
We have to monitor. We monitor the use of everything else that we do for our kids as they grow up, at least we should be. So I recommend that parents set certain guidelines, have the conversation about proper use on the internet, where they can go, where they can't go, and put filters on their computer systems.
Carlsbad mom Kim O'Connell says Wells' presentation has her rethinking the somewhat lax media use guidelines in her own family.
There are no rules. They shouldn't be on it at 1:30 in the morning, and it should not be the very first thing that they do when they wake up in the morning.
She has already brought some of Wells' message home. Her 17-year-old C-Day Otam O'Connell says the idea of kids his age sharing illicit photos wasn't new to him.
It was kind of a weird thing to talk to my mom about. Maybe not surprised at it actually going on, but perhaps at the prevalence of it.
But the idea of receiving texts like that himself seems pretty remote.
I'm actually not sure. I'm not certain how I would respond to it. Because I know, as of the parent meeting and stuff, how I'm supposed to respond to it, given the proper protocol and everything. I'd probably try to do that, but I haven't thought about how I'd emotionally respond to that.
In front of the computer in their living room, C-Day and his sisters navigate their dad, Dennis O'Connell, through photos and videos they've each posted online.
I'm not sure I really want to know, all of the things that they're doing.
O'Connell says he's still comfortable relying on his 4 kids, ages 11 to 17, to tell him and his wife what they come across.
I think adolescence is important to actually make some mistakes. And I think we have a relationship with our kids that they'll tell us, or outwardly something will show in them, and it will cause the conversation to happen, and they will tell us for the most part, I think.
So far, that's worked for the family. When 15-year-old Nineveh told her mom to read the questions anonymous people were asking her brother C-Day on a site called ask.fm, Kim says her first reaction was fear.
The questions seemed to be leaning toward an arena of sexual interest, sexual activity, things that, quite frankly, the correct response to which would be none of your business.
But her son deflected the questioners.
Actually read about 4 pages of conversation, and I just laughed. And then I actually never went back into that account, but I did go to his page. I've reviewed what's gone on the page, but I no longer felt a need to jump.
But that confidence in her own kids isn't going to stop her from amping up her awareness of what's going on in their online lives.
even if it's just through monitoring what happens at the end of the day by having something on the computer. I think it's important to be able to see what those pitfalls that have made themselves available to the kids are.
Whatever actions the O'Connell parents take, they agree they don't want it to be an overreaction. Kyla Calvert, KPBS News.